How Airbnb went from renting air mattresses to a $100 billion empire. So picture this. It's 2007 in San Francisco. Rent is so high, it makes you consider living in a cardboard box, but with Wi-Fi, of course. Two broke roommates, Brian Chesky and Joe Gebbia, are staring at an empty bank account and a rent bill that's due faster than you can say overdraft. They're designers, not business guys, not even Airbnb guys, yet. But what they do have is floor space. And an idea. They go, hey, there's this big design conference in town. Hotels are all booked. What if, we know it sounds crazy, but what if we rent out air mattresses in our living room and offer breakfast too? Welcome, folks, to the humble beginnings of Airbnb. 3 airbeds, 3 guests, $80 per night, no business plan, no VC money, just pancakes and desperation. This wasn't a company yet. It was a survival tactic with maple syrup. But here's the twist. Those 3 guests, they actually loved it. Said it was better than a hotel. Cozier, more personal. One even called it an experience. Now that word, experience, stuck. And that's where the Real story begins. Chapter 1. From breakfast to billion-dollar business. Brian and Joe roped in their friend Nathan Blecharczyk, an engineer with actual coding skills, because let's face it, pancakes alone don't scale. They built a scrappy website called airbnbbreakfast.com. Yes, the full name. It sounds like a tongue twister, and the early version of the site looked like it was designed in Microsoft Paint. But hey, it worked. They officially launched during the 2008 Democratic National Convention in Denver. 20,000 people showed up. Hotels? Sold out. Opportunity? Wide open. They got 80 bookings. Not 800. Not 8,000. Just 80. Still, for 3 guys running a startup from their apartment, it was enough to prove people were kind of into this. But investors? Not so much. Chapter 2. The world's strangest serial startup. So here's where things get really weird. Desperate for funding and attention, they do what any reasonable entrepreneur would do. They start selling cereal. Yes, cereal. They design political-themed cereal boxes, Obama O's and Captain McCain's, during the 2008 U.S. election season. They actually fill them with generic cereal, slap custom branding, and sell them for $40 a box. Believe it or not, they sell 1,000 boxes. That's $40,000 in cereal revenue. More importantly, it gets them into the spotlight. Investors start noticing. And finally, they land a meeting with Paul Graham from Y Combinator. Paul thinks, okay, you're selling cereal, but you're really solving a lodging problem? All right, let's see where this goes. They get into Y Combinator, and now things start snowballing. Chapter 3. Fixing the product, one awkward photo at a time. At this point, Airbnb is still struggling. People sign up, but no one is booking. Why? Turns out, all the listings look like something out of a horror movie. Blurry photos, messy rooms, terrible lighting. Nothing says book me like a picture of a dimly lit mattress next to a laundry pile. So what do the founders do? They literally fly to New York, rent a camera, and start taking professional photos of hosts' homes themselves. Talk about founders getting their hands dirty, or at least well lit. Bookings start climbing. Fast. Moral of the story? UX matters. Photos sell. And sometimes, CEOs need to double as photographers. Chapter 4. The Trust Problem. Now, let's pause for a second. Would you let a total stranger sleep in your home? Didn't think so. Trust was Airbnb's biggest hurdle. So, they built systems for it: reviews, profiles, verified IDs, and a 24/7 support system. Slowly but surely, it began to feel safer, both for guests and hosts. And that, my friend, was the game changer. Because once you make strangers feel like neighbors, the business becomes global. Chapter 5. Scaling with a Soul. Fast forward a few years. By 2011, Airbnb had reached 1 million nights booked. By 2015, It had listings in 190 countries. That's more countries than McDonald's, more than the United Nations. But here's the beauty of it. Airbnb wasn't just disrupting hotels. It was redefining travel. Instead of sterile rooms with mini shampoo bottles, you got local homes, quirky hosts, and sometimes even a pet llama in the backyard. They weren't just building a platform. They were creating experiences. Remember that word? Chapter 6. Facing the Storms. Now, it wasn't always sunshine and guest towels. In 2011, a host's apartment was ransacked by a guest. Airbnb's reputation took a hit. Critics pounced. But instead of ducking, the company revamped its safety policies and introduced a $1 million host guarantee. Then came legal battles. Cities began cracking down. Some said Airbnb caused housing shortages. Others claimed it hurt hotel workers. But Airbnb didn't back down. They hired policy teams, partnered with local governments, and adjusted models. Oh, and then 2020 happened. The pandemic hit. Travel shut down. Revenue fell by 80% in 2 months. Airbnb had to lay off 25% of its staff. It was brutal. But Brian Chesky didn't hide behind press releases. He wrote an open letter, honest, heartfelt, and clear. That level of transparency won Airbnb back a lot of respect. By the end of 2020, against all odds, Airbnb went public with a $100 billion valuation. From air mattresses to Wall Street. Final chapter. Lessons from the living room. So what can we learn from Airbnb? Start scrappy. No perfect idea? No problem. Just start. Even if it's with airbeds and cereal boxes. Solve real pain points. They didn't invent travel. They just made it more human, more local, and more affordable. Design matters. From better photos to intuitive interfaces, great design builds trust and drives growth. Be human. Airbnb succeeded because it understood people, hosts, guests, communities. They focused on connection, not just transactions. Adapt or die. Whether it's regulations or a global pandemic, resilience and reinvention are the name of the game. Airbnb's story isn't just a business case study. It's a reminder that even the craziest ideas can change the world when mixed with hustle, humility, and a few bowls of overpriced cereal. So next time someone says your startup idea is too weird, remind them of the guys who turned a living room and 3 airbeds into a global travel empire. If you found this story inspiring or just mildly entertaining, hit that like button, subscribe for more business stories, and drop a comment telling us, what's the weirdest business idea you've ever heard that actually worked? Until next time, remember, every empire starts with one brave, slightly desperate decision.